Hi everybody, Marco Carbajo here from businesscreditbuilders.org. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to get equipment financing for your business. So whether you're a startup or existing business, we're going to share with you step by step how to pre-qualify and get a quote in as little as 48 hours. So let's get started. First and foremost, what are the benefits of equipment financing? Obviously, you know that whether you're looking to buy some medical equipment, you're looking to get a box truck for your business, or you're looking for office equipment, etc., you can pay for that equipment outright. You can pay for cash that you have on hand, or if you have money saved up, or you can actually go get an unsecured loan and buy the equipment outright. That's one option that you have. But another option is financing that equipment through equipment financing. This allows you to conserve your cash. So rather than coming up with all the money yourself, whether it's through your own savings or cash you have on hand as a business, you can actually finance the equipment and conserve your cash. So that's one of the major benefits of equipment financing. The next thing is it's a fixed monthly expense that you can budget for your business. So when you finance that equipment, you know what the monthly payment is. You get a fixed rate. It's not a variable rate. So if, let's say, for example, you finance it on a credit card, you know those interest rates can be variable. So with equipment financing, you're getting a fixed rate. So you know exactly what your costs are, and you have a set time period. You know at the end of the term of your equipment financing, you own that equipment. Also is equipment itself serves as collateral. So when you're looking to buy equipment outright and you want to pay, let's say, cash for it, whether it's through your own funds, but let's say you want to get financing for it like through an unsecured loan, then remember, if you're going unsecured, there's nothing collateralizing that financing. So it's a lot harder to qualify. You're going to have more strict credit requirements compared to equipment financing. When you're financing the equipment, the actual equipment itself serves as collateral. So with a lender, if you don't pay on that equipment, then they can obviously repossess that equipment. So that's one of the advantages of equipment financing, because it's easier to qualify for it because you have collateral that you're putting up, which is the equipment itself. The other thing with equipment financing, a benefit, is the credit score requirements. If you're going with the unsecured financing and you want to buy equipment, you have to have stronger credit, as you know that. But with equipment financing, because the equipment serves as collateral, you have lower credit score requirements. So for startups, you can get equipment financing for as little as a 650 credit score. Now, if you're an existing business that has some revenues coming through, you can get equipment financing for as little as 550 credit score. So that's a much easier entry point compared to unsecured financing. So that's another benefit. You have special tax deductions you can use with equipment financing, such as depreciation, etc. But that's something obviously you want to consult with your CPA on. Also, you can build business credit when you get equipment financing in your company's name. So these are the benefits. Now let me share with you what are the things you can actually finance as far as equipment goes. So here's a pretty extensive list for you. You can pause this video and look over some of the key things that you can finance with equipment financing, which is really powerful, from office medical equipment, dental, security, communications, and you have restaurants, autos, trucks, box trucks, etc. You have even golf carts, industrial equipment, miscellaneous equipment like gym equipment, beauty salon equipment, etc. So there's many things that you can finance with equipment financing. Let's say you have a whole bunch of equipment you need to finance. You can do that as well. Let me walk you through what you need for equipment financing. First and foremost, you need to have your credit checked. You obviously want to know where your credit is currently. If you have a 550 credit score, that's okay if you're an existing business. If you're a brand new startup with no revenues, you want to be in the 650 credit score range. The next thing you want to have on hand is equipment quote from the seller or the dealer. So where you're going to purchase that equipment, you want to get an invoice. You want to get a bill of sales, obviously itemizing all the equipment, the model numbers, the specific equipment you want to buy. Because remember, with equipment financing, once you're approved and you want to move forward, then the lender will pay your dealer the funds for that purchase of equipment. You want to make sure you have that quote. We're going to need that to give you an actual soft offer. The next thing is you want to have ready is your bank statement. So if you're an existing business, we need to see your 3 months of business bank statements. If you have no business revenues, you're a brand new startup with no revenues, then we're going to need to see 3 months of personal bank statements. Okay, so you want to make sure either or, we're going to need to see 3 months of bank statements. You also want to make sure you have a security deposit ready. Based on the purchase of the equipment, you're going to need to come up with a minimum of 10%. So for example, if your equipment's going to cost $30,000, you're going to want to make sure you at least have $3,000 down, which will be like a security deposit. It could go as high as up to 30% depending on whether you're a startup or how bad your credit is, etc. But you're going to have to put 10 to 30% down of the purchase price of the equipment. But just remember, you can apply if you have no business revenue. Just be prepared to supply 10% minimum down. Those are the basic things that you need for equipment financing. First, you want to order your credit reports because we're going to need a copy of your credit reports to do the pre-qualification review. We're not pulling your credit. This is called pre-qualification. Once you want to move forward, then obviously the hard pull is done. Once you're already pre-qualified, you're going to get the equipment, etc. So you want to order a copy of your credit reports and FICO scores. Now, there's plenty of credit report providers out there. We'd like to see your actual FICO score and a full credit report in PDF format. So you could go to knowmycredit.org. They allow you to, with this special link here, you can get $1. It only costs $1 to get all 3 of your credit reports as FICO scores. And then they have a service that's $32 per month, I believe, $32.99 to monitor and get access to your credit reports 24/7. But this will take you, knowmycredit.org will take you to this site. This is how do you enroll right here. I definitely encourage you, if you don't have any type of subscription to credit monitoring, you want to make sure you have that, because that way you're always on top of your credit. You can monitor your credit. You get identity theft protection. They can also monitor your information on the dark web, make sure that your credit's not going to be compromised. So that's really important. So once you obtain your credit reports, you want to check obviously what your FICO scores are. That just gives you an idea, and obviously we're going to see that as part of your equipment financing quote. Now, once you got your credit reports and scores, I want to kind of break down to you what do you actually need when you submit your equipment financing. You want to get a quote and see how much you get approved for, or you're trying to purchase the equipment. So remember, our review process takes 48 hours for our equipment financing. This is just one of our funding products that we do. So if your purchase price is under $75,000 for the equipment you're looking to acquire, now minimum we do $10,000, but $75,000 here, this is all we need. Is we need a signed equipment financing application, which I'll go into in a minute how that works. We need an equipment quote from the seller. Like I said, you got to make sure you have a quote. We need a copy of your personal credit report, which I just shared with you there. And we need 3 most recent months business bank statements if you have revenues coming through your business. Even if you only have $1,000 a month coming in or $2,000 a month, we still need to see your 3 months of business bank statements. If you don't have any revenues, then we need to see 3 months of personal bank statements. That's if the purchase price is under $75K. If it's above $75,000, there's much more involved. You need the application, a quote, credit report, 3 months bank statements, but we need full financials now because it's a much higher purchase price as far as the equipment goes. So keep that in mind. And also that 10 to 30% security deposit still applies even if you're above $75,000. So if you have a $75,000 piece of equipment, let's say a truck you're looking to purchase, you're going to need at least minimum $7,500 security deposit down on that, okay? Plus, we need to see full financials. If you're a startup, we need to see your personal tax returns, a personal financial statement, etc. On the business side, if you're a seasoned business, we need your business tax return. So this is much more extensive if you have a much higher purchase price when it comes to your equipment. I want to give you examples. Once you do this process, and I'm going to share with you how to start the pre-qualification, how to get the equipment finance application. I'll share with you that in a minute. But once you submit your equipment financing application, your quote, etc., in 48 hours minimum, it could be 72 hours, you're going to get a soft offer if you pre-qualify. So this is just an example of what you're going to expect. We'll contact you. Let's say the equipment you're trying to purchase, the invoice amount was $28,402 for the equipment. So you're approved, let's say, for $28,402. The doc fee, this is non-refundable, is $4.95 to start your process. Your security deposit is 10% down. That's what you need to put down. That's 10% of $28,402 is $2,840. And then we give you terms offers. We give you several different options. You get to select what terms you want, whether it's 18, 24, 30, up to 48 months. And this is your monthly payment. You also want to select not only what plan you want, but what payment date. Do you want on the 1st or the 15th? So once you've done that, you confirmed it with us, then the e-docs are drawn up, and then obviously the funds are dispersed to the dealer to purchase your equipment. And it's that simple. So that's just a walkthrough of what to expect. Let me kind of go through with you how to start the pre-qualification process. Let's say you already have a quote from the dealer, you know how much you need, let's say it's $50,000, etc. Now, how do I start this? How do I get an equipment financing quote or a pre-qualification? So you're going to go to businesscreditbuilders.org. That's the first thing. That's our website right here. And you're going to click on this pre-qualification now form right here. All right, you'll see right here, this is the form that's going to come up to fill out. You're going to fill out this form, but what's key right here is obviously your funding amount. Okay, let's just say the equipment you need is between $40,000 to $50,000. Which program? You're going to want to select equipment financing. That's the key right there, is equipment financing. And then you fill out the rest, and you're going to submit the information. You can upload your credit reports here. If you don't do it yet, that's fine. We're going to send you an email anyway. The email we're going to send you is the equipment financing application, and we're also going to want a copy of your credit report, and we're also giving you instructions for you to submit the dealer quote. All right, so here is an example of the equipment financing application that we're going to send. Actually, this is the actual application. This is what we're going to send to you in an email once you fill out that pre-qual form. We're going to send you this application that needs to be filled out. We also will require your bank statements, and we're just going to give you instructions on what the next step is to get your quote. All right, so this is just a real quick breakdown. You fill out this form. How much is the purchase price of the equipment that you want? What's the total value of the equipment? And this you can pretty much ignore. I mean, I'm already kind of went over that with you. We're going to also put it in the email what documents we need. Like I said, if it's under $75,000, all we need is 3 months of business bank statements or personal bank statements, depending on if you have revenue or no revenue. But if it's over $75,000, we're going to need full documentation. We'll go over to that in the email that we supply to you. Here's your application information here, a little bit about you as an individual, your financials. This is just basic information you're going to put in here, and some business information. Obviously, if you have no revenues coming through, you're not going to put in your business revenue, but we just want to know about the structure of your business, because obviously this is going to be in the business name. This is going to help you build business credit. And then this is your debt schedule if you have any current debts for the business. You print your name and sign it right here, and that's simple. That's the application for equipment financing. Let me kind of just walk you through this equipment financing process. Like I said, you're going to want to get a quote from your dealer, equipment, the type of equipment, the model number, how much it's going to cost out the door, etc. So you're going to have this quote from the dealer. And it could be even a private seller. If you have a private seller, they obviously need to provide you a bill of sale, like what their quote's going to be as well. All right. Now, if it's a private seller, and let's say it's a vehicle, like a truck that you use for your business, a box truck, we're going to want to have pictures of that vehicle from the private seller. Okay. Now, once you get that, you just fill out that pre-qualification form, and we'll send you the application and next steps to move forward. We'll get you a quote within 48 hours minimum. Sometimes it could be 72 hours, and that's it. That's the process. Now, another benefit when you do submit this equipment financing application, if you want us to review you also for unsecured funding at the same time, like business credit card funding, we could do that as well. Just put that in the comments, review for unsecured funding as well, and we'll do that. So when we do a full review, we'll review you for equipment financing, and we can also review you for business credit card funding on top of that. So that's the process for equipment financing. You could check out our website, businesscreditbuilders.org, for our other funding products that we have. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you click subscribe. That way you're notified every single time we come out with a new video on funding products, strategies to build business credit, and maximizing your funding ability. With that, make it a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.